Born to watch my life pass by and dig my grave a shovel a day. Born to work, born to die, in my shallow grave I'll lay. Buried in a coffin made of books I bought and never read, engraved with all the foolish things I wish I'd never said. Surrounded by the trinkets I've amassed throughout my days, in praise of my Lord Bezos, 'cause plastic never decays. Dead inside but buried alive, alive inside the coffin. Coffin choking, already rotting, a nice place to die off in. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury, is what I was bred to crave. I'll count the golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. Chinese sweatshop tears in a locket locked around my neck was the noose I used to hang myself, and not for every check. All wrapped up in bubble wrap, a place to rest my head. I only laid down for a nap, but I died in here instead. This flower bed where I reside is tainted, nothing grows. My luxury coffin will live on as inside I decompose. To rest in plastic was my fate, I tried to buy my peace. I filled my coffin with pretty things, but the cravings didn't cease. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury, is what I was bred to crave. I'll count my golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. This coffin is my soil cocoon, these parcels fill my luxury too. I wish that I could take some more of them with me, but sadly, there just isn't room. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury, is what I was bred to crave. I'll count my golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. To rest in peace and rest in plastic, please just one more piece of plastic. I'll sell an arm or sell a leg, there'll be room for just one more to keep me company in my tomb as I struggle to close the door. Boy in a bubble, head up in the clouds, the sky is the limit, but eyes are looking down. Reflections in a puddle, down on the ground, the world down there is just too loud. He can't see the beauty all around him, eternally scrolling, it's looking a bit grim. The music doesn't reach his ears, and when he cries the raindrops fall like tears. He can't hear a word that's spoke, he's floating on the wind like smoke. Dreams all burnt up, turned to ashes, because of how much time he passes. When he's up there safe and sound, insulated all around, he doesn't care where he goes, he rides the tide when the wind blows. Reality is just too real, feelings hurt too much to feel. Shoulders stooped, he's in a stupor. His mind's controlled by his computer. He lives life by remote control, unaware he's had his future stole. Protected by his safety pod, governed by his handheld god. He doesn't even feel the cold. He sleeps while he's past and present soul. Addicted to this astral projection, defense against all human rejection. The virtual world is where he roams. I don't think he's coming home. Escaping into handheld portals, soaring high away from mortals, aching, yearning to feel numb, but just left empty, deaf, blind and dumb. Reality is just too real. Feelings hurt too much to feel. On the ground now there is no trace of him as he floats off into space. I told him not to drift too far. He left Earth to become a star, but he ended up all on his own. His body's there but no one's home. Oh, if only he had known. From the sky he could have thrown that poison bubble called his mobile phone. Reality is just too real. Feelings hurt too much to feel. Staring through the glass, is it a window or a screen? Or maybe it's a mirror, or maybe just a dream. It's all just a blur through this cloudy pane. Is it static in the signal or droplets of rain? I'm looking at a person who looks a lot like me. Through this window to the world I strain to see. A world of glass so delicate and brittle. All the people look so little. The eyes are a window to the soul, they say. Well, the window to the world is full of clouds and skies are grey. I watch my soul drift out through a crack in the window pane. A shattered shell left behind, writhing on the floor in pain. Stepping out the door into the big wide world, seeking sanctuary from the storm, I join up with the herd. Through rose-tainted spectacles I see so many shadows. The sky is turning black from 1,000 hungry arrows. An arrow for each eye, they'll leave us all blind as we stare up at our future and hold tight onto our own minds. The eyes are a window to the soul, they say, but the window to the world is full of clouds and skies are grey. I watch my soul drift out through a crack in the window pane. A shattered shell left behind, writhing on the floor in pain. The world inside the mirror, so fragile and brittle. All the tiny people, they're artificial. The eyes are a window to the soul, they say, but the window to the world is full of clouds and skies are grey. I watch my soul drift out through a crack in the window pane. A shattered shell left behind, writhing on the floor in pain. Vision was clouded, all too blurred to see the blinded face of myself staring back at me. Through these broken shards, I'll reach into my eyes and slice my hands to ribbons as the reflection slowly dies. And then I'll wake up, it was all a dream, and remind myself that what you see through screens isn't as it seems. Just shattered dreams. I've got a new lease of life, I've been wearing this old leash for life. Will this bird just release me from my lifelong lease? Life of strife, consumption sold by false dream peddlers. Our futures, their currency, puppet master meddlers. Stolen futures, blood and soul brokers. Broken futures, funeral pie stokers. Money spared before it's earned, time used up, hours burned. Lives wasted, thrown away, lifelong lessons sorely learned. Break the brakes and go down into oblivion. We go shopping trolley out of control. Was it worth my soul? We can watch the world around us as our own ambition drowns us from this forgotten, dried up well, this shiny and seductive hell. Optimism attracts predators, presenters of these infected presents. They rob us of our future and present by their overbearing presence, bearing these unbearable gifts wrapped up in shiny packaging, all tied up with gold ribbons to keep us tied up and devouring. Calling all pets, gazing at the sky, pathetic pets, apathetic lives, too tangled up to question why, as life goes slowly ticking by. Inner peace gone to pieces, broken pieces of fool's gold, glittery worthless grains of sand, crumbs too small to even hold. Break the brakes and go down into oblivion. We go shopping trolley out of control. Was it worth my soul? We can watch the world around us as our own ambition drowns us from this forgotten, dried up well, this shiny and seductive hell. I was so naive to think that things could be better. Illusions all washed down the sink, they only made me bitter. I bought into the buying frenzy, but it left me feeling broken, empty, broken by my broken dreams, left me broke, my bank account is empty. Why did I make this bargain when I already had plenty? If you told me I'd be here now, I wouldn't believe you when I was 20. I gave in to my shallow whims, it cost me an arm and a leg. This burden cost me all my limbs, now it's coming for my head. Break the brakes and go down into oblivion. We go shopping trolley out of control. Was it worth my soul? We can watch the world around us as our own ambition drowns us from this forgotten, dried up well, this shiny and seductive hell. Now I'm just a torso without a head, lavish life but underfed, house so full of luxuries, but I just hide underneath my bed, underneath my bed. So easily led, overwhelming dread underneath my bed. There was a dog who had a dream of chewing through his chain. With broken teeth his belly growled as he lay there tame. He sniffed for something small to satisfy his hungry soul. Anything to fill him up, a thing to make him whole. He had an empty hole to fill. He gorged and gorged himself until his poor insides could take no more. And with his life he paid the bill. He stuffed so much stuff inside, but no matter how hard he tried, the hole just stretched and grew and grew. And that is how that poor dog died. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails about a poor bulldog that begged for more. His belly finally popped one day while all the other dogs did play, because on his fetid bed he lay and ate his life away. He kept his demons buried deep under lock and key, but like his tangled guts they're now laid out for all to see. This catalogue of fails and tales and trails and that within, a life of greed and luxury, a life of pain and sin. These rabid bees will not be free from cholera lead by greed. These vapid feasts of wants and needs or endless bowls of feed. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails, that poor bulldog that begged for more. Bones buried in the garden, toes dug by tooth and claw, buried with his food bowl is that poor dog who begged for more. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails, That poor bulldog that begged for more.
Hello, Eddie.
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about your wife.
What's going on? How is she?
Well, that's the thing. She's alive, but barely. From what I see here, she has internal bleeding, several broken ribs, and she had a few contusions. She's not doing well, so we had to put her under a medically induced coma.
So, what does that mean? What happens next?
Well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Because she's in a coma, we need a medical proxy.
What's that? What's a medical proxy?
It's someone that's going to make health decisions on her behalf, and since she's in a coma, you're her next of kin. You're the one that has to do it.
So I'm responsible for all her medical decisions now?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I've made up my mind. Let's give her breast implants.
What?
I'm thinking double D's.
Mr. Stone, we need to stay focused here. Your wife is not doing well, and she might need a heart transplant.
And what good is a new heart if there's nothing there to protect it? No. Now more than ever, it's important that she look beautiful. It's what she would have wanted.
Your wife is still alive.
And what if she doesn't make it? I'm a carpenter. I can't be reminded of my dead wife every time I look at a 2x4. Also, this is supposed to be a hospital. Why the fuck are these floors carpeted? I'm her medical proxy. Do the procedure.
Hey, I like these floors.
Hello, I'm Peter Truback. I'm going to play a few songs for the One Young Punk Festival. Thanks for inviting me to play. This one's called When I Come Out. I feel like a broken window, and outside the rain is falling down, 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 in the bottom of the basement, in the darkest corners where I'll be found and lost repeatedly like your old and forsaken keys. But I remember who I used to be, and you'll remember me when I come out. I felt like a tabletop chessboard, just another pawn that you can slay, but I'm learning life is not just another game to help you take home the grade. Anger is honesty, and well, I'm living honestly. I'm drowning in honesties of passion, love, and hate. But now I'm a force to be reckoned with. My words are stronger than your fist, and my pen is a quiver of arrows aimed at the target on your chest, beating to a quickened heartbeat. You'll remember me when I come out. You'll remember me when I come out of the shackles keeping me from freedom, from depression keeping my mind down, down, down in the bottom of the basement. My light will blind. I'm coming out of the shell that I've lived my life in. This is my chance for liberation. I remember who I have been, but life is changing, life is changing. I'm a force to be reckoned with. Mine words are stronger than your fists, and my pen is a quiver of arrows aimed at the target on your chest, beating to a quickened heartbeat. You'll remember me when I come out. You'll remember me when I come out. You'll remember me when I come out. Thanks. Give me a sec to double check tuning, and then I'll get on to the next one. Alright, this one's called Pennies. Me and my guitar are crossing the border. Gonna meet up with a couple of friends down by the river. First I'm out of the States to play my own songs for people that I've never met. With hours to go, is it too early to be nervous? If I'm just a name on a flyer in a rundown venue, I wouldn't have it any other way. If I'm the penny spent to get you into the show, I hope you get to hear your favorite band play. When the music's over and it's time to go home, I just wanna hear you say, this night was worth it. Me and my guitar are moving on. After a wonderful gorilla show in the Saskatchewan, I leave the city broke but full of memories of people I won't soon forget. With hours to go before our next stop in Alberta. If I'm just a name on a flyer and run down venue, I wouldn't have it any other way. If I'm the penny spent to get you into this show, I hope you get to hear favorite band play when the music's over and it's time to go home. Well, I just wanna hear you say this night was worth it. Me and my guitar are homeward bound. Gonna meet up with a bunch of kids at the underground. You get it, I was great, but now I get to play for all of my inspiring friends. With hours to go, is it weird to be this excited? I'm just a name on a flyer in a run-down venue. I wouldn't have it any other way. If I'm the penny spent to get you into this show, I hope you get to hear your favorite band play when the music's over and it's time to go home. Well, I just wanna hear you say that this night was worth it. Sorry about that. This one's called I Can Make It. I like thinking I can make it through whatever making it means. In the moment I am thinking about, well, in the moment I am thinking about making it through these weeks in my room instead of going off to school or to one of a long list of things my therapist and me have been writing down to get me out of my head. To get me out of my head. To get me out of my head has been shaken up lately, along with all my friends here in Salt Lake and all of the things on our walls, things on our walls. The things on our walls, things on our walls. So I look for comfort in the things that I used to take for granted, sitting out in the sun, eating breakfast with my grandma. I teach her how to use her phone. She tells me stories from many years ago. She says, I like thinking I can make it. I like thinking I can make it. I like thinking I can make it. If she can leave her room when her world's falling apart, perhaps I can leave mine when it isn't. Alright, what am I at? Alright, I'm just gonna play one more. Sure. Alright, this one's called I Wrote You a Letter. If you like the song, I have a video for it that's kind of cool on my YouTube. Just look for I Wrote You a Letter by Peter Truback. And once again, thank you to the One Young Punk Festival for reaching out. Enjoy the rest of the show. You wrote me a letter, said that you're feeling empty, or at least that's the best way so far that you found to explain the way that you're feeling. And I know you've been taking things out on yourself, 'cause old decisions you made have brought you to this place. I see a dandelion growing up through the concrete, and I'm sure that is not where it would like to be. But imagine the strength it took it to break free. You say it's not enough to be a flower in the streets. When you look up and see all your friends, it's great oak trees. But they really love you, and they want to help you. They're not growing so high to make you feel so low. They're trying to show you how to make your own roots grow. So please take my hand, I'm reaching out for you. And I know in time you will make it through. Well, you wrote me a letter, said this time you'll try harder, but no guarantee that you'll be here for more than a week. I said, friend, 1 week's a good starter. And I've been in your place, so broken and afraid. I hid from the world when all I needed was an embrace. No, I see a lighthouse, steadfast in the billows. You're nearly drowning yourself, but you don't say a word till everybody else has gotten out of the storm. Say it's not enough to help everyone get out, 'cause now that they're okay, you are alone in the swell. But they really love you, and they want to help you. They're not leaving the waves to make you feel unsafe. They're marking the path to get you out of harm's way. So please take my hand, I'm reaching out for you. And I know in time you will make it through. Well, I wrote the first letter this time. I'm not waiting around to get your goodbye. I know life's treating you hard tonight, but you've made it through hard times. And I did my best to explain to you that I know how it feels. I've walked in those shoes. I won't promise life gets better with time, but I promise you do. Tried to write what you mean to me, but how can words express explain these feelings. If you are feeling alone tonight, you can always talk with me. You wrote me a letter. You said you're doing better. Well, sometimes you're angry that you are still here, but you take that to mean that somehow you still care. You're holding on tight to the things that you've got. It's one day at a time, but things are looking up. I wrote you a letter. 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 And I did my best to explain to you that I know how it feels. I'm walking no shoes. Won't promise life gets better with time, but I promise you do. I tried to write what you mean to me, but how can words explain these feelings? If you are feeling alone tonight, you can always talk with me. So I wrote you a letter.